Hi, I'm Mary Caton, a sports writer with the Windsor Star, and we're here today with Tim Beaulieu and Calvin Little, co-chairs of the Ontario 55 Plus Summer Games, which are being co-hosted by Windsor and Amherstburg August 19th to the 21st. Thanks for joining us, guys. Let me ask you right off the top, Cal, how are preparations going?
Well, it's going very well. Tim and I were asked a year and a half ago to be the volunteer leads for the Games Organizing Committee. We put together a great team, and they've been working really hard for all of that last 18 months. And so now we're down to the, to the crunch a bit, and the anxiety levels come up a little bit, but the attention to detail has been really good, and we're feeling ready to go.
Now, we talked a little bit before about the logistics, Tim, and I mean, you're talking 1,200 participants. I think I read 18 different activities. How many
Correct.
venues do you need?
We have 10 venues, and what we've tried to do with the 18 different activities is split them evenly amongst Windsor and Amherstburg. So the venues that we're going to be using, let's use Amherstburg, the Libro Center, the Verde Club, we have Centennial Park, we have Toddy Jones Park. In Windsor, we're going to have the St. Clair Sports Complex, the new sports complex.
Wow.
The Aquatic Center, St. Clair Center of the Arts, the Legion on Howard Avenue. Where else am I missing there, Calvin?
You said the aquatic complex, I believe. So
Yeah.
really, tennis and bowling at Parkside and at the bowling club down in Jackson Park. So, and all of our people are staying here downtown.
Oh, okay, yep.
Yep, we have 5 hotels that
Yeah.
we're housing everyone in, including Caesars, the Waterfront, Holiday Inn, etc. And so what we've done is placed everyone here, and then this will be our point of execution, where everything will go out from this point. We'll feed everyone breakfast here at St. Clair Center of the Arts, and then
they scatter.
And then they scatter.
Okay.
So we're trying to have 600 to 700 participants out in the Amherstburg area, and the same thing here in the Windsor area.
Okay. Now, I know you guys put out a call for volunteers. I think you were shooting for something like 400. How's the drive going?
Well, the drive's going really well. We don't have quite 400, but we feel like we're on a really good trajectory to get what we need. One of the things that happens in this is we identify the total number of volunteers, and then you sort of work backwards from the sports techs, the groups that they have already in place, the officials and so on that will help manage the events. So that side of it is in really great shape. Where you always sort of need the more general volunteers to help with registration, help getting people on and off of buses at the hotels, if you will, directing people when they're arriving at, say, the opening ceremonies or the closing ceremonies, things like that. So we have a really exciting event in that, first of all, I think we're in good shape. And unique to our games is we're bringing in, at the end of this month, Teresa Sayer, who is a customer service specialist.
Oh, okay.
One of her previous clients was the 2010 Vancouver Olympics. And we're doing a customer service training with all of our volunteers, which really is a legacy thing for us because all of those volunteers will have that experience for any other volunteering that they do after our games.
Right, great legacy for our community.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, Janet Cookson was the general manager. She had to leave earlier this spring for another job opportunity. Did that throw any monkey wrench into the works for you guys?
Well, we actually took a step back, and then we went to the municipalities, being Windsor and Amherstburg, and asked them to step up a little bit and take on some of those responsibilities. Secondly, Cal and I have taken on a few more responsibilities through ours, but then we hired Linda Andrika in order to assist us in specific areas such as volunteers. So we've split her job up over 3 different groups, and so far it's worked out extremely well.
Oh, that's good, that's good. And then the last thing I wanted to ask you guys, I mean, what is it like trying to pull this together, get volunteers, doing it in the shadow of the Ontario Summer Games, which Windsor is hosting just a few days before?
Well, to take a step back, I first got involved when the bid for the Ontario 55 Plus Games was being assembled 2 years ago. A little more than 2 years ago, and I sat in on the group that helped put that bid together. And then once we were successful, Tim and I got involved as the chairs, and we put together a really good committee. That said, the Ontario Senior or Summer Games came in sort of later after the fact. Certainly we had a lot of pieces in place, and I think that was critical because it would have been harder if we were trying to start up at exactly the same time. So even though we've been at it a little longer, we laid a really good foundation. But there certainly is challenges. I would say the biggest is people not telling the difference.
Yeah.
Right? When there's a call for volunteers, which event is it? Things like that. But the folks for running the Ontario Summer Games have been great partners. Mike Chandler and his crew have been great to work with. We try very hard to co-promote and to also distinguish. So when we do an interview or he does one, we always sort of make sure we sort of amplify the other.
Right.
But I would say that it did raise some challenges that we didn't expect going in. We thought we'd have a little more of the limelight maybe, and that's not so much. But we're also confident that we've put together a class event that for the participants that have come to the Ontario 55 Games before, they will see a world class. Our motto has been best games ever. We believe we're on that on the track to deliver that.
Okay, well, keep those dates in mind. August 19th to the 21st, you're going to be able to catch the action at a lot of different places. Thanks again, guys, for joining us today.
Thanks, Mary.
Thanks, Mary.